I don't want to be around people anymore. The older I'm getting, I'm realizing that I don't want to be around people. And there's so many reasons why I don't want to be around people. One, people are fake. Two, people are weird. Three, people are jealous. Four, people have secret animosity towards you. And that is so dangerous in today's society, today's world. It is so common to have those type of people around you. And to think about it, your close friends could be the person who's preying on your downfall, having a secret animosity towards you. And when you tell them about something that went sideways or went left in your life, they could have been that person who's preying on your downfall. But you know what they're going to do or say to you in front of your face? Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. That just sucks. Why would they do that to you? But deep down, behind that phone, while they're listening to you complaining about your life and how it went left, they're like, well, that's exactly what he or she gets. That's exactly what he or she gets. It's unfair that his or her life is going perfect and mine is just going down the drain. Hey, I'm glad we're on both pages. I'm glad we're on the same page. You know, if you think about it, people want you to do good, but they don't want you to do better than them. And we have to keep that in mind. I've came across, I would say, few friends that came across, and they've had secret animosity. One, they exposed themselves, and two, I feel it. I'm a very intuitive person, and when I distance myself, the message reveals to me within a matter of days, weeks, if that makes sense. The message is revealed, and I hear about things, or they say certain things where it just automatically concludes to, hey, this person has secret animosity. And being a pretty girl, it's hard for me to keep friends. It's hard for me to even make friends at that. Because one, when you're pretty and you're going out with someone who, you know, may not be as pretty as you, it could cause a number of things. It could cause jealousy, secret animosity, them preying on your downfall. It could just be a number of things, and that is draining to your mental health. You know, let's say you're going out to a party. You know, instead of you feeling comfortable, like, hey, I'm going out with my homegirl, it's like you gotta be awake. You can't drink. You can't be very comfortable in the setting or the environment, because you don't know what they could possibly do to you if you do get to the stage where you get drunk. I mean, we have to understand that in the reality or in the world we live in, there's no such thing as friends. There's no such thing as friends. Me personally, I don't believe in best friends. If someone was to call me best friend, I would be like, okay, hey, you know, that's good to know. But for me to claim someone as my best friend, that's not happening. The older I've gotten, and even being in middle school as a little girl, I've never believed in best friends. I remember in elementary, I grew up, I was a kid at that time. I was probably 6, 7, 8, 9 years old before I even got to middle school. I always wanted a best friend. I'm like, hey, why can't I have a best friend? But I had to come to a conclusion that I was a pretty girl. And when you're a pretty girl, you have a hard time making friends or even keeping friends. And it always feels like the other person wants to compete with you. It feels like they're having a secret competition with you for no reason. Because your blessing is your blessing. My blessing is my blessing. No one can ever take the blessing that's meant to be for me. No one can ever take it. If that friendship or didn't work out, it wasn't meant to be for me. And it's a protection. Or let's say a relationship that I really wanted to work out didn't work out. It was a protection. Again, think about it. Rejection is protection. If it didn't work out, that's perfectly fine. I'll move on to the next person. I'll actually find my person. But just there are certain situations where people could go about it differently. And the way you treat someone plays a huge role. It plays a huge role. And karma is a real thing. So definitely be mindful on how you treat people when it comes to certain situations, whether you don't want to be friends with them or you don't want to continue to talk in stage or continue the relationship. It just takes maturity and just having a mature conversation. Because if you don't have a mature conversation and years down the road you've matured and you want to rekindle things, that person is not going to look at you the same. The love or the connection that they felt towards you is not going to be the same. And these are just some reasons that, the older I've been getting, I just don't want to be around people. People, the way people talk to you plays a huge role. And sometimes when people talk to you or disrespect you, you have to, just swallow that in, especially when it comes to work settings. I don't know what it is about people or higher management feeling comfortable to speak to employees a certain way, as if karma doesn't exist. So, work-wise, it's that, and, with friends, it's another part of it. And throughout these past 2 years, I've honestly been cutting friends left and right. And it's so hard to build a genuine bond without a friend feeling secret animosity or feeling like they're competing with you. Me personally, I don't compete with people. My blessing is my blessing. My beauty is my beauty. If I'm prettier than you, there's nothing I could really do. It's just something I can't fix. It's something that's not fixable. Whether you get surgery or not, your appearance is still going to stay the same. Now let that sink in. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Because let's say if someone wants to do nose surgery because they don't like their nose. If you think about it, your nose shape is still going to be the same. It's just minimum adjustment that's going to look a little bit different. Now let this all sink in. And, with all this fakeness, secret animosity, it does no good. And those type of people, you need to remove yourself immediately because you don't know what they could possibly do. I've came across videos on YouTube where I'm actually going to post a screenshot on this side over here of two friends. And one of the friend has secret animosity towards the other friend. And I guess they were going out or I guess she secretly dressed up, has an undercover, so like no one would ever knew if it was her, even with surveillance. And this happened during nighttime, which it's hard to see even if you have cameras, and poured acid on her. Y'all, you have to be mindful with your energy, who you bring around you, your circle, because the world we live in, we're not living in paradise. Paradise would have been a whole different environment. And these are just some reasons why, the older I'm getting, I just don't want to be around people. People are just weird nowadays and they're just fake. I feel like everyone's playing their roles. They're playing chess when it comes to their own benefit. No one is genuine nowadays. No one wants to genuinely help you if you're going through a struggle. Yes, they want to help you out. They want you to maybe get in a better situation, but they don't want you to do better than them. And now that I'm speaking about this, I actually came across a TikTok picture or video, which I'm actually going to insert on this side over here. When I saw that, I had to repost it. I was like, this is so true. Now that you guys are looking at it on my screen, let that sink in. Let that sink in because that's the truth. And if you're having a gut feeling about someone that's just not sitting well with you, it's God communicating to you. It's God letting you know that you need to distance yourself away from that person. That person does not have good intentions towards you. And the older I'm getting, the more aware I am of my surroundings and who I have around my circle. When I tell you guys I barely have friends, I barely have friends. And when it comes to going out, it's hard. I don't have a sister, so it's like, you know, you have to text at least 2 3 people to see, hey, are you available to go out? And most of the time, those people that don't want to go out with you, your aura or your beauty bothers them to the point where they start giving you excuses. Hey, I won't be able to go out because this and that. Or, you know, just excuses. Okay, let's say your work schedule, let's say you're not feeling good. All right, that's fine. But let's say if you invite them, it's the third or the fourth time, same issue, same excuses. That just comes to show that they don't want to go out with you. And to me, that's just weird energy. I'm a very intuitive person, and when I'm around someone, I can tell so much about how they feel about me just based off of their aura, the way they talk, they express things to me. I'm a very intuitive person. I don't know how to explain this, but I just am, and I'm thankful that I have this ability, because not many people out here are intuitive. When I tell you I could be with someone, I could be talking to them on the phone, or they could be right in front of me and we're having a conversation in person. And when I tell you I can feel exactly how they feel about me, if they're a genuine fan, if they're a genuine friend, if they're a fake friend, if they're a true friend, or if they're using me for their own benefit, things of that nature, I could tell all of it. Will I tell them? Will I expose that to them? No. I'm going to play my cards right as well. I'm going to see how far this could all go. Because why cut them off and expose them when in reality I'm an intuitive person. You probably came across this video because maybe you're intuitive just like me. That person that you already know how they feel about you, let it all play out. Let's see how far they can get with you. But at the end of the day, you know what role to play. You know how to distance yourself away from them. And, you know, these are just some of the reasons why I just don't want to be around people anymore. And the sad part is that there's no way I could avoid people. I can't. And there's no way I can avoid people, because when it comes to work, you have to go to work unless you find a remote job. But remote jobs is very hard nowadays. It was popular during COVID. Again, 5 years later, we're in 2025. So the remote jobs have been regulated. Most people are going back in the office. So just to wrap this video up, moral of the story is be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of your circle. If you're having a gut feeling, listen to your gut. You're not going to have that gut feeling for no reason. If you're intuitive, God gave you that ability. That ability that he knew you would need in your life because of the kinds of people that you were going to come across with the moment you got on this earth. Let this all sink in. This message is no coincidence. This message came across your YouTube page for a reason, and I want you guys to let this all sink in. And you probably feel the same way when it comes to being around people. You're like, you know what, I'm done with people. I just don't get along with people. And it's hard for you because we're human beings. We're supposed to like each other, get along with each other. And there's people who you come across them and they just dislike you. They just dislike you for no reason. I know there's numbers of people, once they see me in the room, they dislike me. My aura or my beauty just disturbs their peace. They just can't stand me. And what they do is they play in my face like they love me or they like me or they appreciate me. But there's reasons behind why they act that way. Whereas there's people where once they dislike you, they don't want nothing to do with you. Those are the type of people that you should appreciate, because you know why? They're not going to cause you any harm. They're not in your circle. They wouldn't know about your business. They completely avoided themselves because you guys' aura clashes. And that's fine. But the type of people who plays their cards as if they're your true friends, but in reality, they secretly hate you. They're preying on your downfall. Those, 9 out of 10 times, those are people who you are friends with. Those are people who you are close with. Again, minimize the conversations you have with them, the things you share with them, because they are not your friend. Tell me anything that stood out to you, while listening to my video, and tell me if you guys feel the same way about just being around people, because I personally, the older I'm getting, I just don't want to be around people anymore. I don't know what it is. I did explain some of the reasons, but it's just a feeling that just can't be explained. I just don't want to be around people anymore. And God knows exactly how I'm feeling. That's probably why I'm in this situation that I am right now. I barely have interactions with people. The year just started. When I tell you I have not stepped out, and we are already in February. Just think about it. God knows what he's doing. Let this message sink in. And I want you to understand that if you came across this video, you're not the only one that just doesn't want nothing to do with people anymore. I'm in the same boat as you. And hopefully this message or this video was helpful and gave you a better view or clarity on probably a situation that you're probably in and you needed closure, or you just needed a different point of view or perspective. And like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.